My wife got promoted twice and has access to a deferred compensation plan. We are going to skip it and keep using our brokerage account. Do you agree? We are barely under 40 in FU Step 7. What do you think?
Well, in true financial advisor fashion, our answer is going to be, it depends. We can't give you specific advice on whether you should or should not take advantage of it, but what I can tell you is what a deferred compensation plan is and how it works. So a lot of companies, and it's traditionally large companies, they'll have some sort of retirement benefit in place. They'll say, hey, instead of you getting your compensation today, instead of you receiving all of your compensation today, you can opt to defer some of that compensation into the future. And instead of us paying it to you out this year, we'll pay it to you at some future year, or maybe we're going to spread it out over some number of years. And so most plans will allow you to defer a percentage of your salary or a percentage of your bonus, and then you can choose when you want to receive it. So I don't want to get paid that money today. I'd rather get paid that money when I retire, and I want to get paid that money spread evenly over 5 years. That's a way that a lot of plans often work. And so it's a fantastic planning tool for folks that are looking for more tax-deferred savings opportunities, because when you put the money into a deferred comp plan, you don't have to pay income tax on it. You will pay income tax when you go to draw that money out. So it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to push that money into the future. And it's also a great opportunity to be able to build a self-funded pension. Maybe you know that you make enough income right now to be able to provide for your current living expenses, but you want to build some sort of bridge to get you from the time you retire until you begin drawing Social Security, or from the time that you leave the workforce until RMDs start, or whatever the case may be. This is a great tool that higher income individuals can use to begin to build that bridge. But there are some things you need to know about when it comes to deferred comp, because it's not always just a no-brainer for sure, I'm going to sign up and do this.
Yeah, I wrote 3 quick things. You know, as Bo says, this is definitely part of the personal finance part. It's the personal component. But I want to give you some things to think about so you actually leave watching this highlight or this question and feel like you know some homework steps you can do to apply this in your own financial life. First, how familiar are you with where you are in the tax rates? Are you in? This is something you shouldn't even sniff around this until you're really into that step 7 of the financial order of operation and you're saving well beyond 25% of your gross income. This is not entry level. You're not doing this instead of a Roth IRA. Right. You're not doing this before you fund the maxing out the annual 401k at work. This is definitely higher level, step 7 of the financial order of operations. You need to be very familiar with where you are with your marginal tax rates. Take both your federal, take your state tax rates, and are you in those higher tax brackets, and are you in a higher tax state where you're like, man, wouldn't it be nice if I could create my own arbitrage situation where while I'm in this huge tax income situation because of all my earned income and your wife's good work and promotions, and you say, I bet when we retire, all of a sudden we're going to fall into a much lower tax rate situation because we just won't have all this earned income coming in. Why not play off of that arbitrage? Mm-hmm. And that's what deferred comp allows you to do, is you can essentially push some of this income where it's coming in surplus, push it out to a future time where you're hopefully going to be in a lower tax situation. Now, here's the catch. What's the caveat here? What's the fine print? You've got to know how strong the company is, because realize part of deferred comp is you are saying, I am owed this money. I have earned this money. This is money that I'm entitled to. But so that I can not pay income taxes, I'm going to let the company keep this income that I'm entitled to, and it's going to sit on their balance sheet as an obligation to me. The risk with that is if they got in trouble and filed bankruptcy, you would be a creditor. You had money that was sure is going to come into your bank account that now is questionable because your company has gotten into financial trouble. And we've seen even big household names can very quickly fall into financial trouble. And you're like, wow, that's sad. I thought that company was bulletproof. And then you find out, no, they have a lot of struggles. They have a lot of problems with keeping up with innovation and other things. So ask yourself, how strong is this company? Because you're basically turning money that should be in the bank into a promise from the company. So if they're not on good financial standing, you could have problems. The other thing, and Bo alluded to this, what's your retirement bridge? A lot of people will enter retirement, say in the early 50s, especially if you're in the technology field or something like that. Well, your too young to get access to your 401k. You're too young, which is 55 if you're still working.
That's right.
It's 59.5 on your IRAs, and you're like, well, I need some type of money coming in to kind of bridge that period of time. As I said, part of step 7 of the financial order of operations, nothing wrong with looking at deferred comp as being part of that bridge program to give you kind of like, it's a little cash flow pension for a period of time where this money's going to come in. It's kind of a cool process. And I even have clients, because a lot of times I've had clients that say, I don't know when I want to retire. I'm having too much fun right now. This does let you essentially in 5-year increments kick it out, meaning that if you worked 5 years for this company and you're like, does that mean the money's going to just start showing? No, it lets you kick it to the end, to the next. So it does give you flexibility in the planning to keep building your bridge.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Oh
Aaron?
man, I thought you were going to add some more to it.
No, I was gonna. Well, it's because
I thought that was
going
the end.
to. I thought about it, but these plans are fairly complicated. They're not all structured the same. Companies get some ability and flexibility. Like we've seen it before, like with the whole kick it thing. Yeah, okay, you can defer, but if you're going to defer, what you cannot do is you cannot receive distributions anytime sooner than 5 years from when you originally said you were going to receive distributions. A lot of times when you participate in a deferred comp plan, you need to have a really good plan in place, because some of the elections that you make on the day that you defer are going to have a long tail in terms of how they impact you. So this is one of those areas where if you are facing a deferred comp and trying to make that decision of does it make sense and how do I structure it well, this is one of those times where it might really make sense to take the relationship to the next level. Because we've seen it before. Folks who got so excited about deferred comp, like, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And they just defaulted to lump sum at retirement distribution. But what ended up happening was in the year that they retired, they got like large 7-figure payouts, got crushed in taxes, all because they weren't thinking about the distribution strategy. They were just thinking about saving taxes in the years that they were deferring. So they are complicated and they are nuanced. So if you're trying to navigate that, we would love to potentially be the team to help you figure out how do I work through making the deferred comp elections well.